A relentless winter storm, packing heavy snow, freezing rain, and sub-zero visibility, transformed Oklahoma's major arteries into icy graveyards on Sunday and Monday, leading to catastrophic multi-vehicle collisions on Interstate 44. As of January 26, 2026, state authorities remain in a race against time to clear wreckage and rescue stranded motorists amid some of the most treacherous driving conditions seen in a decade. The most severe incident occurred on the Will Rogers Turnpike, I-44 westbound, near the Ottawa County line. On the morning of Sunday, January 25th, what began as a single vehicle losing traction quickly escalated into a massive chain reaction pileup involving dozens of vehicles, including several semi-trailers. Witnesses described a scene of pure whiteout, followed by the sound of twisting metal. According to the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, OHP, the initial collision involved a commercial truck that jackknifed across all westbound lanes near mile marker 314. Due to the black ice coating the asphalt, oncoming vehicles were unable to brake, slamming into the wreckage at high speeds. The ice was invisible under a thin layer of fresh powder, said OHP Captain Marcus Reed. By the time drivers realized there was a blockage ahead, their vehicles had become unguided sleds. We are looking at a scene that stretches nearly half a mile. Emergency responders from neighboring counties faced significant delays reaching the site as secondary accidents blocked access ramps. At least 15 individuals were transported to regional hospitals, with injuries ranging from moderate to critical. Miraculously, no fatalities have been officially confirmed at this hour, though crews are still searching crushed vehicles. Further south, near Stroud, the Turner Turnpike, I-44, witnessed a terrifying scene on Friday and Saturday as the storm's first wave hit. Two semi-trucks collided, triggering a massive fire that sent plumes of black smoke into the snowy sky. The intensity of the blaze, fueled by diesel and commercial cargo, forced the total closure of the turnpike for several hours. While the drivers managed to escape before the flames engulfed the cabs, the heat was so intense it caused structural damage to the pavement, necessitating emergency repairs by the Oklahoma Department of Transportation, ODOT, in freezing temperatures. Governor Kevin Stitt has placed the state under a heightened state of emergency, authorizing the National Guard to assist stranded motorists and help clear heavy debris from the interstates. Our primary goal is life safety, the governor stated during a press briefing on Monday morning. We have hundreds of people stuck in their cars in sub-freezing temperatures. We are pleading with Oklahomans, stay off the roads. If you are on I-44, you are not just risking your life, you are hindering the path for emergency vehicles and salt spreaders. ODOT has deployed its entire fleet of snowplows, but officials admit it is a losing battle in some sectors. The wind is blowing the snow back onto the roads as fast as we can clear it, said an ODOT spokesperson. Between the ice at the base and the drifts on top, the I-44 corridor is effectively a skating rink. The closure of I-44, a critical corridor for transcontinental shipping, has sent ripples through the national supply chain. Hundreds of freight trucks are currently backed up at truck stops in Tulsa and Oklahoma City, waiting for the all-clear that may not come for another 24 to 48 hours. Regional airports, including Will Rogers World Airport, have reported hundreds of cancellations as ground crews struggle to keep runways clear of the rapidly accumulating ice. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol has issued the following directives for those who must be outdoors. Avoid all non-essential travel. The safest place to be is at home. If you must drive, carry blankets, water, a flashlight, and a fully charged power bank. If you become stranded, do not leave your car to walk for help in a whiteout. Run the engine sparingly for heat and ensure the exhaust pipe is clear of snow to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning. Meteorologists predict that the storm system will begin to move eastward by Tuesday evening, but record low temperatures are expected to persist through the week. This means that the ice currently coating I-44 and other major highways will likely remain, making recovery efforts slow and dangerous. For real-time traffic updates and road closure information, residents are urged to use the Oklahoma Department of Transportation, ODOT, interactive map, or the Drive Oklahoma mobile app. Sunday, January 25, 2026, marks the third day of a grueling battle against nature as Oklahoma's two largest metropolitan areas remain buried under a thick blanket of ice and snow. A relentless winter storm, fueled by an Arctic plume, has effectively shut down the urban cores of Oklahoma City, OKC, and Tulsa, creating unprecedented logistical challenges and safety concerns for millions of residents. In Oklahoma City, the state's capital, the scene is one of surreal stillness. The bustling Bricktown district and the corridors of the Devon Tower, usually teeming with Monday morning commuters, are ghost towns. The city recorded a staggering 12 inches of snow within a 36-hour window, coupled with a dangerous layer of freezing rain that has turned sidewalks and side streets into treacherous paths. Mayor David Holt issued a citywide stay-home order early Sunday, which remains in effect today. Our snowplow crews are working in shifts around the clock, but the sheer volume of snow, combined with wind gusts that drift the snow back onto cleared paths, makes this an uphill battle, the mayor stated during a virtual press briefing. The impact on Will Rogers World Airport, OKC, has been severe. All commercial flights were grounded throughout Sunday, and as of Monday morning, only limited runway operations have resumed. Thousands of travelers remain stranded in local hotels, waiting for a break in the weather. 100 miles to the northeast, Tulsa is facing a different but equally dangerous set of circumstances. While snow totals in Tulsa were slightly lower than in OKC, averaging 9 to 10 inches, the city bore the brunt of a significant ice storm before the snow fell. This ice-first event has led to widespread power outages across the Tulsa Hills and Midtown areas. The Public Service Company of Oklahoma, PSO, reported that over 85,000 customers in the Tulsa metro area lost power as ice-laden tree branches snapped, bringing down utility lines. The weight of the ice on our infrastructure is immense, said a PSO spokesperson. In many neighborhoods, the roads are too slick for our heavy repair trucks to navigate safely, slowing our restoration efforts. Tulsa's hilly terrain has added a layer of complexity for drivers. The infamous steep inclines in parts of the city have become impassable, with dozens of abandoned vehicles littering the roadsides after drivers lost control during the initial onslaught of the storm. The stretch of Interstate 44, I-44, that connects Tulsa and Oklahoma City, known as the Turner Turnpike, has been the site of numerous accidents. Despite the best efforts of the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority, the highway has seen multiple jackknife accidents involving semi-trucks. State troopers have spent the last 48 hours patrolling the corridor of chaos, as some locals have dubbed it, rescuing motorists whose vehicles slid into ditches. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol, OHP, confirmed that visibility dropped to near zero several times over the weekend, creating whiteout conditions that made driving purely a matter of survival rather than transportation. Hospitals in both OKC and Tulsa, including OU Health and St. Francis, have seen a spike in emergency room visits. The primary causes are slip and fall injuries, car accidents, and, increasingly, cases of carbon monoxide poisoning as residents turn to unsafe heating methods during power outages. We are urging citizens, do not use charcoal grills or gas generators inside your homes or garages, warned Oklahoma State health officials. The cold is dangerous, but the fumes from these devices are deadly. Warming centers have been established at the Cox Convention Center in OKC and the BOK Center in Tulsa. These large-scale shelters are providing a lifeline for the city's vulnerable populations and those whose homes are no longer habitable due to the lack of heat. The economic ripple effects of the 2026 storm are being felt across the region. Schools, including the University of Oklahoma, OU, and the University of Tulsa, TU, have canceled all in-person classes and moved to remote learning, where internet and power allow. The logistics industry, a pillar of the Oklahoma economy, is facing millions of dollars in losses per day. With I-44 and I-40 crippled, the flow of goods from the East Coast to the West Coast is backed up, with hundreds of trucks idling at plazas in Stroud and Chandler. Despite the hardships, the Oklahoma standard of helping one's neighbor has been on full display. In Tulsa, Jeep clubs have mobilized to transport essential medical staff to hospitals. In Oklahoma City, neighbors have been seen using snowblowers to clear entire blocks, ensuring that even if the city plows haven't arrived, people can at least reach the end of their driveways in an emergency. "We saw an elderly neighbor struggling to shovel his walk," said Mark Peterson, an OKC resident. "4 of us from the street went over and finished it in 10 minutes. It's cold, but our hearts are warm." Meteorologists at the Oklahoma Messenet indicate that the worst of the precipitation has passed, but the danger remains in the form of the Great Freeze. Temperatures are not expected to rise above freezing until Thursday afternoon. This means that the slush currently on the ground will refreeze into solid sheets of ice every night, a phenomenon known as refreezing that makes morning travel particularly lethal. A warming trend is forecasted for the weekend, with temperatures potentially reaching the 50s by Sunday. However, this brings a new concern: rapid snowmelt and potential localized flooding as the 14 inches of snow turn into water faster than the frozen ground can absorb it. The Texas Panhandle is currently at a standstill as a historic winter storm, officially designated Winter Storm Fern, continues to lash the region with heavy snowfall, high winds, and life-threatening temperatures. Amarillo, often called the Yellow Rose of Texas, has been transformed into a stark white landscape, recording one of its most significant snow events in the last decade. The precipitation began late Saturday night, January 24th, initially as a freezing drizzle before rapidly transitioning into heavy, thumping snow by early Sunday morning. Driven by a powerful Arctic front colliding with moisture from the Gulf, the storm intensified throughout January 25th, 2026. By Sunday evening, official National Weather Service, NWS, stations at the Rick Husband Amarillo International Airport reported a staggering 14.2 inches of fresh snow, with localized drifts reaching up to 4 feet high due to sustained winds of 35 miles per hour. As of Monday morning, January 26, 2026, the city remains under a winter storm warning and a wind chill advisory. Local authorities have effectively locked down the city for public safety.
From people exiting the
Texas Department of Transportation, TXDOT, has closed significant portions of Interstate 40 and I-27 surrounding Amarillo. Black ice and whiteout conditions made travel impossible, leading to dozens of jackknifed semi-trucks and stranded motorists. While the ERCOT grid remains stable statewide, localized power outages have affected approximately 15,000 residents in the Amarillo area due to heavy snow weighing down power lines and snapping tree branches. All commercial flights at Amarillo International Airport have been grounded since Sunday morning, with no clear timeline for reopening as crews struggle to clear the runways. Mayor's offices and emergency management teams have activated 24-hour warming centers for those without heat. "This is not just a pretty snow, this is a dangerous weather event," said a spokesperson for the Amarillo Police Department. "We are urging everyone to stay off the roads to allow snowplows and emergency vehicles to do their jobs." The agricultural sector, a cornerstone of the Panhandle economy, is facing a critical situation. Cattle ranchers are working around the clock to provide feed and break ice in water troughs for livestock. While the moisture from the snow is a welcome relief for the region's wheat crops following a dry autumn, the immediate stress on livestock could lead to significant losses if the sub-freezing temperatures persist. Meteorologists predict that while the snowfall will taper off by midday Monday, the deep freeze is only beginning. Temperatures are not expected to rise above freezing until Tuesday afternoon, January 27th. The snow is the headline, but the cold is the real danger, says chief meteorologist at the local NWS office. With wind chills dipping well below zero tonight, frostbite can occur on exposed skin in as little as 30 minutes.
You could have just pushed it from the back.
Meanwhile, most El Paso area school districts will have delayed openings on Monday, January 26th, due to anticipated freezing temperatures and potential icy road conditions. The El Paso, Isleta, Socorro, and Canutillo school districts and Las Cruces public schools announced that they will have a 2-hour delayed start on Monday from normal starting times. The morning pre-K classes for 3-year-olds will be canceled for the day at the El Paso, Isleta, and Socorro districts. School bus transportation will be run 2 hours from normal pickup times. Socorro and Canutillo ISDs added that breakfast service will be provided on a 2-hour delay. All Canutillo Independent School District campuses will open their doors at 6 a.m. in case any student needs to be dropped off early and needs a warm place to wait for the start of the day, Canutillo ISD noted. El Paso woke up to a cold rain, wet roads, low clouds covering the Franklin Mountains, and snow falling in parts of the borderland as a winter storm impacted Texas. Snow was falling on Sunday morning in parts of El Paso, though the snow showers are forecast to leave the region by early afternoon, the National Weather Service stated. Drivers should use caution due to slippery roads and continued chances of mixed precipitation as a winter weather advisory for the El Paso area continues until 11 a.m. Sunday, January 25th, the National Weather Service office advised. Texas Department of Transportation highway cameras showed snow covering the ground in the Fort Hancock area on Sunday morning. Additional snow could accumulate in neighboring Hudspeth County and the Hueco Mountains area, just east of El Paso, a NWS advisory stated. About 11:30 a.m. Sunday, the Hudspeth County Sheriff's Office reported slow, bumper-to-bumper eastbound traffic on Interstate 10, west of Sierra Blanca, Texas. Not the best traveling conditions, so please stay off the roads, the Hudspeth County Sheriff's Office posted on Facebook. Interstate 20, a primary artery for transcontinental trucking, has been rendered nearly impassable in several key sectors. The Texas Department of Public Safety, DPS, took the rare step of closing major portions of the highway between Midland and Sweetwater after a series of multi-vehicle pileups involved dozens of commercial trucks. On Sunday afternoon near Abilene, a massive chain reaction collision involving 15 semi-trailers occurred due to whiteout conditions. According to the Texas Highway Patrol, the ice was so thick that even salt-spreading trucks were losing traction. "It's a graveyard of trucks out there," said Mike Vance, a driver who has been stranded at a truck stop in Cisco since Sunday morning. "You can't see the lanes, you can't see the exits. If you get off the pavement, you're stuck in a 3-foot drift. I've lived in Texas my whole life, and I've never seen I-20 look like a Siberian highway." In West Texas, the energy capital of the state has ground to a halt. The I-20 stretch through Midland and Odessa is currently under an extreme danger travel advisory. Local police have reported hundreds of slid-offs, where vehicles have drifted into the median. The weight of the snow has also impacted the oil and gas industry, with some production facilities pausing operations due to frozen equipment and the inability of workers to reach the sites. The Texas Department of Transportation, TXDOT, has deployed every available plow in the region, but the wind, gusting up to 50 miles per hour, continues to create massive snowdrifts that block the road as soon as it is cleared. As I-20 enters the Dallas-Fort Worth area, the problem shifts from deep snow to lethal ice. The High-5 and other major interchanges have seen dozens of minor accidents, leading to the closure of several flyover ramps. The North Texas Tollway Authority, NTTA, and TXDOT have been pre-treating roads since Friday, but the freezing rain on Sunday evening washed away much of the brine, leaving a layer of black ice. Schools across North Texas, including those in Fort Worth and Arlington, have canceled all activities through Tuesday, and the DFW International Airport has reported over 1,200 flight cancellations. Governor Greg Abbott has activated the Texas National Guard to assist stranded motorists along the I-20 corridor. Using specialized cold weather vehicles, Guard members are patrolling remote stretches of the highway in East and West Texas to provide water, blankets, and fuel to those who have been stuck in their cars for over 12 hours. "Our priority is life safety," the governor said in a press conference in Austin. "If you are on I-20 right now, stay with your vehicle. We are working to get to you. To everyone else, the roads are closed for a reason. Please stay home and stay off the ice. One of the biggest concerns for Texans remains the power grid. As of Monday morning, ERCOT, Electric Reliability Council of Texas, reports that the grid is holding steady despite record-breaking winter demand. However, localized outages caused by ice-laden tree branches falling on lines have left approximately 40,000 residents in the dark, primarily in the East Texas piney woods near Tyler and Longview, where the I-20 corridor is heavily wooded. As of Sunday, January 25, 2026, the Land of Enchantment has been transformed into a frozen landscape as a massive winter storm system, unofficially named Kachina by local meteorologists, continues to pummel New Mexico. From the high peaks of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains to the desert floor of the Rio Grande Valley, the state is grappling with record-breaking accumulation, sub-zero temperatures, and a total disruption of the interstate transportation network. The storm began late Saturday night as a powerful low-pressure system stalled over the Four Corners region, drawing in an unusual amount of Pacific moisture while tapping into a reservoir of Arctic air sliding down from the Rockies. This combination created a perfect upslope effect, where moisture-laden air was pushed against the mountains, resulting in intense, heavy snowfall that exceeded 3 inches per hour in some locations. By Sunday morning, Santa Fe was reporting 18 inches of fresh powder, while the Sandia Crest overlooking Albuquerque saw a staggering 30 inches, making it one of the most significant single storm events in the last 20 years. While Albuquerque is no stranger to light snow, the sheer volume of Kachina has overwhelmed the city's resources. The Sunport, Albuquerque International Airport, suspended all flight operations on Sunday evening after runways became impossible to clear amidst 45 miles per hour wind gusts. Our snow removal teams are working at 100% capacity, but the visibility is the real killer, said Albuquerque Mayor Tim Keller during an emergency broadcast. We are seeing drifts of up to 4 feet in the Northeast Heights. We are asking everyone, unless you are an emergency responder, to stay off the streets. The city's main thoroughfares, including Central Avenue and Montgomery Boulevard, have seen dozens of abandoned vehicles. Many drivers, caught off guard by the rapid accumulation, found their cars high-centered in deep snowdrifts. The New Mexico Department of Transportation, NMDOT, took the extraordinary step of closing Interstate 40 from the Arizona state line all the way to Texas. The stretch through Tijeras Canyon, east of Albuquerque, became a bottleneck of stranded semi-trucks and passenger cars. Similarly, Interstate 25 is currently closed from Santa Fe to the Colorado border. The Raton Pass has been reported as completely impassable, with state police reporting snow depths that have buried road signs. We have reports of over 200 motorists stranded in their vehicles between Gallup and Grants, said NMDOT spokesperson Maria Chavez. The National Guard has been deployed with specialized tracked vehicles to reach these people and bring them to warming centers. In the state capital, Santa Fe, the situation is increasingly dire as temperatures plummeted to minus 10 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 23 degrees Celsius, overnight. The historic plaza, usually a hub of activity, is buried under nearly 2 feet of snow. The weight of the heavy, wet snow has caused numerous power outages in the northern part of the state. Kit Carson Electric Cooperative reported that over 20,000 residents in Taos and surrounding mountain villages are without power. With temperatures expected to remain well below freezing for the next 48 hours, officials are concerned about the risk of hypothermia for those without backup heating. For New Mexico's ski resorts, the storm is a double-edged sword. While Taos Ski Valley and Ski Santa Fe have received a once-in-a-lifetime dump of powder, they have been forced to close operations temporarily. "We have too much snow," joked one resort manager. "The avalanche risk is currently at an extreme level, and with the roads closed, our staff can't even get to the mountain. We are preparing for a massive opening once the storm clears, but safety is the priority." The storm has hit New Mexico's ranching community hard, In the eastern plains, cattle ranchers are struggling to reach herds to provide feed. On Navajo and Hopi lands in the northwest, the remote nature of many homes has prompted a massive humanitarian response. The New Mexico National Guard is currently coordinating hay drops for livestock and food drops for isolated families who have been cut off by the snow for over 48 hours. Despite the chaos, stories of heroism have emerged. In Rio Rancho, a group of Good Samaritans with 4x4 trucks spent all of Sunday night transporting nurses and doctors to Presbyterian and Lovelace hospitals. In the South Valley of Albuquerque, community centers have opened their doors to the homeless, providing hot meals and blankets to hundreds. New Mexicans are used to tough conditions, whether it's drought or fire, said Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham. Now we are facing the ice, but we are seeing neighbors helping neighbors, just as we always do. The National Weather Service in Albuquerque predicts that the snow will taper off by Monday evening, but the land of enchantment will remain in a deep freeze through Wednesday. A slow warming trend is expected to begin on Thursday, which brings its own set of problems. Potential flooding. When you have 2 feet of snow melting in the desert sun, that water has nowhere to go, warns meteorologist Jeff Simmons. We are keeping a very close eye on the Rio Grande and its tributaries toward the end of the week.